However, I feel like this is the wrong answer to this stick drift problem. I feel like these controllers long term would be much better suited for the Hall effect sticks. Welcome back everybody, my name is John. This here is the Xbox Basement where I cover all things Xbox. It has been about a month since we've seen a lot of these Microsoft leaks that came out of the FTC versus Microsoft when they were trying to acquire Activision Blizzard King, and I've been doing a ton of reading on this. I didn't want to make a video until I had gathered just kind of a bunch of information, and I'm actually going to take a lot of these leaks and just break them down one by one rather than doing one massively long video. Now we're going to start with this new controller that is codenamed Sebile. I've read a bunch of different articles and watched a bunch of different videos, but we are looking at this report here on The Verge. Now this article has a lot of speculation, but we're actually going to look at this image right here and just kind of do a breakdown. And what we're actually looking at here is the document that was submitted to the FTC as part of the acquisition deal. You can see right here that it is codenamed Sebile, and this is actually their tagline, the world's best controller now playing on a screen near you. So this is the image that you would have seen. So this is official. This is legitimate. This is not some sort of prototype mock image that may or may not actually exist. And the first feature we see is Ubiquity. If you don't know what ubiquitous means, it means kind of just everywhere all around. So there's a new Xbox proprietary connection inside of this controller. They call it Xbox Wireless 2, Direct to Cloud, and Bluetooth 5.2. And the Direct to Cloud is actually not new. If you guys remember Stadia or Amazon's Luna, which actually still exists, inside of their controller had this Direct to Cloud feature. Well, what the heck is Direct to Cloud? It means that your controller actually connects to your Wi-Fi and does everything gaming wise, and all you need is some sort of screen to play this on. Bluetooth 5.2 of course being a better Bluetooth connection. They're touting a brand new seamless pair and switch, but these are kind of vague. New mobile app features, see paired devices in cloud, manage devices and accessories. And this tells me that it's going to be more like a phone app that you can actually like control your devices and choose where to actually default pair them to, rather than having to fire up your Xbox and then hold down that little sync button on both devices and then have it pair. Their next point here is immersion, precision haptic feedback, VCA haptics, doubles as speakers, accelerometer, and quieter buttons and thumbsticks. Just want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys who subscribe to the channel, and if you're not subscribed, consider doing that now. I personally don't think that my controller is too loud. I don't think I've ever gotten like, this is really annoying when I'm pressing these buttons rapidly. And I personally like the click of this D-pad on the current Xbox controller. I like that clicky feedback. But of course the big one on this point is going to be the haptic feedback and the haptics that double as speakers. Now if you guys ever had like the Steam controller, this actually had this like built-in speaker function, and then the Nintendo Wii had little speakers in their Wii mode, so controllers have actually done this before, but it's not like having a separate set of speakers or headphones to actually hear the game. They're more for like effects. I feel like this is more of a novelty for controllers to say that, hey, we can put sound out through our controllers. I think it's one of those like quirky, cool things that you're like, oh, that's really neat, but you don't really use very often because it's not really vital to the controller. But the precision haptic feedback is going to be what everybody is going to be looking for. If you have picked up and played with a PlayStation 5 controller, you know what I'm talking about. A better feedback on your controller makes your games more immersive. They don't break down exactly what details here, but I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of the features that are on many popular controllers now, especially from Sony's PS5. Sustainability, and this is actually one of my favorite points, there's a rechargeable and swappable battery. And I think the key thing to this is actually the swappable part. So I actually use third-party rechargeable batteries in my controller now because I don't want to wait. I don't want to do this thing where it's like, I gotta plug in my controller now because my battery is not swappable. And this is one huge advantage that I'm going to say is going to be over the PlayStation 5 controller, because since PlayStation 3, they've always had an internal battery that is not swappable. So when those batteries run out and you're in the middle of a game, as the saying goes, you are SOL, and you just have to plug it in and hope your cable is long enough or swap to another controller. With these swappable batteries, it's, oh, my game says my battery's dead, swap, swap. And having a swappable battery is not new. However, right now you have to do it third party, and I would imagine that we're gonna see some sort of first party battery swapping items. Microsoft is saying that they're going to be using recycled materials, and then repair and disassembly Approachability. This one is really interesting to me because they don't say who is going to repair it. Who is going to disassemble it? Now, because this is the customer-facing advertisement for these new controllers, I would expect to see some sort of repairability, some sort of breakdown, some sort of easy disassembly that we as the end user can do. And that would make sense because it feeds right into this next point, which is durable and reliable new modular thumbsticks, improved longevity, continued build improvements. And everybody is speculating that these new modular thumbsticks right here are going to be a complete removal and replacement to combat stick drift. Now, Microsoft has done something like this with your Elite controllers. You can actually just take these caps off and replace them when these get worn out. However, if you do encounter stick drift on these things, you still have to completely disassemble the controller to get into those sticks to actually fix them. Would this be nice to have a controller where you can just, hot swap them yourself and you don't really have to do any repair per se? Yes, it would. However, I feel like this is the wrong answer to this stick drift problem. I feel like these controllers long term would be much better suited for the Hall effect sticks, and then we don't even have to worry about this. For the last point, approachability, they've got familiar Xbox feel, same ergonomics as Merlin, in other words, a previous controller, same layout and activation forces, like how much it's actually going to take to press a button, and then some of their different configuration options, but this is the one right here that everybody has been super hyped for from everything that I've read, a lift to wake. That of course means that when you're ready to play your Xbox, all you have to do is pick up your controller, it's going to power on the Xbox, it's obviously going to be connected, and you are going to be ready to play. I can definitely see some new quick resume features that are going to work very, very well with this. You tell your Xbox to go into sleep mode, and then later on when you're ready to play in the middle of that game, you just pick up your controller, it's going to power on your Xbox, and it's going to put you right back in that game right where you were. And well, what's the downside to this? I would say your battery life. I really don't think your battery life is going to be fantastic on this controller, specifically because of this feature, but I don't think it's going to be enough of a serious issue that people won't use it. And now that there's the swappable battery options, I really don't even think that the battery life is going to be an issue. And the last question on everybody's mind is, when are we going to actually see this codename Sebile controller launch? And we are expecting this here at the end of May of next year. Early June, we should actually start seeing this controller roll out individually and be packaged with new Xboxes coming out. I would expect to see this controller near the end of May, and then the packaging actually where it comes in with your console near the end of the year, so November when the holidays come around. Mostly because that will be a good motivator for people who want a console. They're going to get this improved controller. Well, this is just our first video of a lot of these leaks. You guys leave me your opinion down on the bottom, and you guys are going to see a lot of these leak breaks down quickly to come. As always, thank you guys for watching. I've been John, by the way. This here is the Xbox Basement, and we will see you in the next one.